If you have ever whispered the words, 5 more minutes, and then watched the whole morning disappear, this story will feel like it was written for you. By the end of it, you may never look at your alarm clock the same way again. Because our grandparents knew something we keep forgetting. The early morning has gold in its mouth. Most of us never find that gold, not because it is hidden, but because we are asleep when it is offered. Today's story is about a boy who was slowly giving up on himself, a father who was watching the light fade from his son's eyes, and a wise old teacher who refused to give the boy any advice at all. Instead, he told him 3 short stories about a woodcutter, a carpenter, and a potter. 3 lazy men who changed everything by changing just one habit. But this story goes further than most stories do. It does not stop at the lesson. It opens a door into the science behind the lesson. What actually happens inside your mind in the quiet hours before sunrise, and why those hours may be the most powerful gift you receive each day. For generations, this wisdom was carried in a simple rhyme. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. As you are about to see, those words were more true than anyone realized. So stay with this story until the very end. And as you listen, hold one gentle thought in your heart. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive. The question this story will answer is a simple one. What will you do with that privilege tomorrow morning? In a small town nestled between green hills and rice fields, there lived a young boy. He was not a bad boy. He was clever, he was kind. He had dreams, big dreams. He wanted to top his class. He wanted to join the district cricket team. He wanted to learn the flute like his grandfather. But the boy had one enemy, and that enemy lived inside his own room. His bed. Every night he promised himself, "Tomorrow I will wake up early." And every morning when his mother called him, he pulled the blanket over his head and whispered, 5 more minutes. 5 minutes became 50. 50 became the whole morning. By the time the boy opened his eyes, the sun was already high. The birds had finished their songs, and the world had moved on without him. At first, the losses were small. He missed the school bus and reached class late, breathless and scolded. He missed the morning cricket selections. The coach chose the boys who came at dawn to practice. He missed the flute lessons his grandfather offered because the old man taught only in the quiet hours of early morning when his breath was strong. Then the losses grew bigger. He rushed through his exam preparation at night, eyes heavy, mind foggy, and his marks fell. His best friend won the scholarship he had dreamed of, the friend who studied every morning before sunrise. The school announced a science competition, but the training sessions were at 6 a.m., and the boy never made it past the first day. One by one, the doors of opportunity opened in the early morning and closed before he ever got out of bed. Slowly, something inside the boy began to dim. He stopped talking about his dreams. He stopped smiling at dinner. He sat alone in his room, staring at the wall, thinking. maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe everyone else is smarter, faster, luckier. He didn't know that he wasn't broken. He didn't know that his talents were still there, sleeping inside him, just like he slept through every sunrise. His father watched all of this quietly. He saw the light fading from his son's eyes. And one evening, he made a decision. "Tomorrow," he said gently, placing a hand on his son's shoulder, "you and I are going on a small journey. There is someone I want you to meet, my old teacher." "A teacher?" the boy mumbled. "What can a teacher do?" His father smiled. "He's not just a teacher. He spent his whole life studying the human mind. If anyone can help you understand what is happening inside you, it is him." The next day, father and son walked up a winding path to a small house on a hill, surrounded by mango trees and morning glories. There, on the veranda, sat an old man with silver hair, calm eyes, and a smile that seemed to know things before you said them. Once a school teacher, later a famous psychologist, he was now a quiet sage of the hills. The old man laughed and embraced his former student. "So this must be your son." They sat together and the father explained everything: the failures, the sadness, the boy's fading spirit. The old teacher listened without interrupting. Then he looked at the boy for a long moment, not with judgment, but with warmth. "My boy," he said softly, "I'm not going to give you advice. Boys your age are tired of advice. Instead, I'm going to tell you 3 short stories. 3 men I want you to meet: a woodcutter, a carpenter, and a potter." He leaned back in his chair. "Listen carefully, because hidden inside these 3 stories is the answer to your whole life." "Long ago," the old teacher began, "in a village at the edge of a great forest, there lived a woodcutter. He was strong, the strongest man in his village. But he was also lazy. He slept until the sun burned his face through the window. By the time he reached the forest, the other woodcutters had already claimed the best trees. His axe was blunt because he never had time to sharpen it. He chopped in the hot afternoon sun, sweating, exhausted, earning barely enough to eat. One day, an old woodcutter, thin, small, half his strength, walked past him carrying twice the wood he had cut. "How?" the strong woodcutter demanded. "You are half my size." The old man smiled. "Strength cuts wood, but time chooses the trees. I wake 2 hours before the sun. In that quiet darkness, I sharpen my axe slowly, perfectly. I walk to the forest while the air is cool. I choose the best trees before anyone arrives. And when the sun rises, my hardest work is already done." The lazy woodcutter decided to try it, just once. The next morning, he rose 2 hours before sunrise. The world was silent. His mind was strangely calm. He sharpened his axe until it gleamed. He reached the forest first, chose the finest trees, and worked in the cool morning breeze. By noon, he had cut more wood than he usually cut in a whole day. Within a year, he was not just the strongest woodcutter in the village, he was the wealthiest. Not because his arms grew stronger, but because his mornings did. The second man, continued the old teacher, was a carpenter. He had golden hands. Whatever he touched, a chair, a door, a window frame, carried a hidden beauty. But he slept late, woke late, and started work late, so he was always rushing. And rushed hands make crooked joints. His measurements went wrong, his nails bent. His customers waited, then complained, then left, one by one, for other carpenters. Talented but unreliable, the village said. And those 3 words slowly destroyed him. One day, the temple priest came to him. "We wanted you to carve the new temple doors, but we cannot trust a man who cannot trust his own mornings." That night, the carpenter could not sleep. The words burned in him. And before dawn, still restless, he walked to his workshop, 2 hours before sunrise. Something strange happened. In that early silence, with no customers knocking, no noise from the street, no rush in his chest, his hands moved differently, slowly, precisely, joyfully. He carved a small lotus on a piece of scrap wood, just for himself. It was the finest thing he had ever made. The carpenter began waking 2 hours before the sun every single day. Those quiet hours became his sacred workshop time. For the most delicate work, the finest carving, the deepest thinking. His work transformed, his reputation returned, and a year later, when the temple doors were finally unveiled, carved edge to edge with lotuses and peacocks, the whole village stood in silence. The priest asked, "Where did you find such skill?" The carpenter smiled. "It was always in my hands. I just finally woke up early enough to meet it." And the third man, said the old teacher, was a potter. He loved his sleep more than his clay. He woke when the sun was already high and hot. And here was his problem. Clay is a moody friend. In the hot late morning, it dried too fast, cracked too easily, slipped and collapsed on the wheel. He rushed and rushed pots crack in the kiln. Half of everything he made shattered in the fire. "The clay is cursed," the potter complained. "The wheel is old, the kiln is bad." An old potter from the next village heard him and laughed. "The clay is not cursed, my friend. The clay is honest. It simply tells everyone what time you woke up." "What do you mean?" "Clay loves the early morning, the cool air, the soft moisture, the patient hands. And so does your mind. Wake 2 hours before the sun. Knead your clay in the cool darkness. Sit at your wheel when the world is silent. Then watch what happens." The potter tried it, grumbling at first, half asleep at first. But within days, he noticed the miracle. The clay stayed soft and obedient in the cool morning air. His hands, unhurried, found a rhythm. His mind, undisturbed, found a stillness. The pots rose from the wheel, smooth, balanced, alive. And when they came out of the kiln, they sang. Not one crack. People began traveling from distant villages to buy his pots. They said his pottery had something peaceful in it. It did. It had the early morning inside it. The old teacher finished the third story and sat back. The veranda was quiet. Only the wind moved through the mango leaves. Then he looked at the boy and asked one simple question. "Tell me, my boy, what was common among all 3? The woodcutter, the carpenter, the potter. The boy thought, his forehead wrinkled. Then slowly, his eyes began to widen, like windows opening after a long time. All three were lazy, he said quietly. All three were failing, but none of them was weak. None of them lacked talent. He paused, and his voice trembled slightly. They changed just one thing, one habit. They started waking up early, 2 hours before sunrise. And that one habit changed everything else. He looked down at his hands. Just like me, he whispered. I'm not stupid. I'm not unlucky. I've just been asleep. Every morning, my opportunities came to my door, and I was asleep. The old teacher's eyes shone. Now, he said gently, you are truly awake. And since your mind is finally open, let me show you something wonderful. Let me show you what actually happens inside your brain in the early morning. Because this is not just a moral lesson, my boy. This is science. The old teacher picked up a stick and drew gentle waves in the dust of the veranda floor. Your brain, my boy, is always humming with electricity, tiny waves, rising and falling. And these waves change speed depending on what you are doing. Scientists have given them names. He drew 4 wave patterns, from tight and fast to long and slow. Beta waves, fast and busy. This is your daytime brain, thinking, talking, worrying, rushing for the school bus. Useful but noisy. Too much beta and the mind becomes like a crowded marketplace. Alpha waves, slower, calmer. This is the relaxed, awake mind. When you watch a sunset or take a deep breath, your brain slides into alpha. This is where calm focus and creativity live. Theta waves, slower still. This is the dreaming mind, the deep meditation mind. In theta, the door to your subconscious opens, the deep storehouse where your habits, memories, and imagination live. Delta waves, the slowest of all. Deep, dreamless sleep, the body's repair time. He tapped the space between 2 of the wave drawings. Now here is the secret. The most powerful state of the human mind is not any single wave. It is the bridge, the borderland between theta and alpha. Half dreaming, half awake. In this state, the imagination of theta and the awareness of alpha work together. The subconscious mind is open and the conscious mind is listening. Whatever you learn, imagine, plan, or affirm in this state sinks deep, like seeds into soft, wet soil. The father asked with curious eyes, "And when does our brain naturally pass through this golden bridge?" The old teacher smiled and pointed toward the eastern horizon. In the early morning, especially in the last stretch of the night, roughly 90 minutes before sunrise. Our ancestors called this time the Brahma Muhurta, the creator's hour. They did not have machines to measure brain waves, but they knew. In those 90 minutes, your body's sleep chemical, melatonin, is gently fading. Your energy hormone, cortisol, is naturally beginning to rise, nature's own alarm clock. Your brain drifts upward from theta toward alpha. If you wake in this window, You rise through the golden bridge instead of crashing past it. And there is more. Your willpower, which lives in the front of your brain, is like a phone battery. It is fully charged in the early morning and drains all day. The world is silent, so nothing pushes your brain into noisy beta. Your mind stays in calm alpha for 1, even 2 hours. This is why the woodcutter's plans were sharper, the carpenter's hands were steadier, the potter's mind was stiller. They were not just waking early, my boy. They were doing their most important work in the most powerful state their brain will ever offer them, for free, every single day. The boy sat forward now, eyes bright. Then tell me, sir, what should I do in those hours? The old teacher held up his fingers, one by one. A simple morning, in this order. 1. Rise in the sacred window, 90 minutes to 2 hours before sunrise, and do not touch your phone. The moment you touch it, the world's noise floods in, and beta waves steal your golden hour. 2. Drink a glass of water. Your body has been fasting all night. Wake it gently. 3. Sit in stillness. 10 minutes of slow breathing, meditation, or prayer. You are already near the theta alpha bridge. Simply rest there. Plant your intentions for the day like seeds. 4. Move your body. Stretch, walk, exercise. Blood begins to flow and the mind sharpens. 5. Do your most important work first. Study, practice, create, while your willpower is fully charged and the world is still asleep. 1 hour of this is worth 3 hours of the noisy afternoon. 6. Greet the sunrise. Step outside and let the morning light touch your eyes. Sunlight sets your body's inner clock, so tonight you will feel sleepy on time, and tomorrow you will rise with ease. 7. A calm breakfast, a grateful heart. Then let the day begin. Whatever happens after this, you have already won the morning, and he who wins the morning wins the day. The boy nodded, then hesitated. But sir, my bed is strong, and I am weak. How do I actually wake at 5 without feeling like a dead man? The old psychologist laughed, a warm, delighted laugh. The honest question at last. Listen carefully. Waking early begins the night before. Sleep early. Be in bed by 9:30 or 10. You cannot cheat sleep. You can only shift it. Keep the same time every day, even on holidays. Your body clock loves rhythm more than it loves rules. Put the screens away 1 hour before bed. Their light tells your brain it is still daytime and blocks your sleep chemical. Eat dinner early and light. A heavy stomach makes a heavy morning. Shift slowly. If you wake at 8 today, do not jump to 5 tomorrow. Wake 15 minutes earlier every few days. In 3 weeks, 5 o'clock will arrive gently. Keep the alarm across the room, and when it rings, stand up immediately. Do not negotiate with the bed. The bed always wins negotiations. Give your morning a purpose. Before sleeping, decide exactly what you will do in your golden hour. The brain wakes eagerly for a reason and lazily for nothing. Do this for 1 month, my boy, just 1 month, and then come back and tell me who you have become. The boy walked home that evening, a different boy. Not because his problems had vanished, but because he finally understood them. The next morning, in the dark silence before dawn, an alarm rang across a small room in a small town. And for the first time in his life, the boy stood up without a single 5 more minutes. 1 year later, if you visited that town, you would hear about a boy who topped his class, a boy on the district cricket team, a boy whose flute, in the still hour before sunrise, drifted over the rice fields like a prayer, the same tune his grandfather once played. Nothing about the boy had changed. Everything about his mornings had. The world belongs to those who greet it before the sun does. Talent decides what you could be, but your mornings decide what you will be. Take a quiet moment and think about the boy at the beginning of the story. He had the mind to top his class, the strength to play cricket, and the heart to learn music. Nothing was missing inside him. What was missing was outside him, in those 2 silent hours before sunrise that he kept giving away to his blanket. And this is where so many of us live without realizing it. We wait for talent, for luck, for the right moment, when the real answer has been waiting at our door every single morning. The deepest truth in the story is that the boy did not change everything. He changed one thing. One habit, repeated day after day, quietly rebuilt his entire life. This is how transformation actually works. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Nobody becomes disciplined in one dramatic moment. First, we make our habits. Then our habits make us. The woodcutter, the carpenter, and the potter did not become new people overnight. They simply gave their mornings a new shape, and their mornings slowly gave their lives a new shape. Notice also what the early hours gave each of them. The woodcutter found his health and his wealth. The carpenter found his skill and his peace. The potter found stillness his hands had never known. It is well to be up before daybreak, for such habits contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom. And this story shows us exactly why. In those quiet hours, your willpower is full, your mind is calm, and the world has not yet started pulling at you. One peaceful morning hour is worth 3 noisy afternoon ones. So here is what you can carry from the story into your own life, starting tonight. Do not try to change everything at once. Go to bed a little earlier. Set your alarm 15 minutes ahead of your usual time and move it across the room. When it rings, stand up without negotiating, because the bed always wins negotiations. Keep your phone out of reach. Drink a glass of water. Sit quietly for a few minutes, and then give your first hour to the one thing that matters most to you: your studies, your health, your craft, your dream. Do this for 1 month and watch who you become. Your future is found in your daily routine, not in your intentions, not in your promises, Not in the plans you keep postponing, in the small things you actually do between waking and breakfast. The doors of opportunity are still opening every morning. The only question is, will you be awake when they do? Now, it is your turn. Tell us in the comments, what time will you wake up tomorrow? And what is the one thing you will do in your golden hour? Write it down as a small promise to yourself and come back after 1 month to tell all of us who you have become. Your words might be exactly the push someone else needs to change their mornings too. If this story touched your heart, please like and share this video, because somewhere out there is a person who has been whispering 5 more minutes for years. And this story might be the gentle wake-up call they have been waiting for. Together, we can pass a little hope, happiness, and joy into someone's day. And if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, join our family of story lovers and turn on notifications so a new story of wisdom finds you every time one is ready. I will be back again with another powerful story. Until then, be patient, stay grateful, and remember, every sunrise carries gold in its mouth. Be awake to receive it.